The First Amendment to the United States Constitution states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. These words don't signal the end, but rather the beginning of a spirited debate about the proper relationship between religion and the American state.
I think that the First Amendment impacts us more than any of us realize. In absence of the First Amendment, it's not clear that I could be a rabbi, that my community could exist, or even that Jews could freely practice at all in the United States.
For me, my expression of faith comes in a variety of ways. There are some really great celebrations throughout the year that highlight different aspects of our faith journey.
Hanukkah, in many ways, is a means of showing that we have difference, that we have something unique, something special, something that we love about who we are.
I think the impact the holiday season has on exposure to other cultures can be seen in the various displays that are put up in schools. I think the most valuable place to do that is probably elementary school. In elementary school, if you can be exposed to Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, any other holiday, and learn through it about the cultures that go along with those holidays, that is a big benefit.
A lot of my teaching experience was with children from many different cultures. One point in time, I was teaching a class of about 30 children. 15 of them or 16 of them came from other countries. But in addition to that, we always tried very, very hard to celebrate their cultures.
For many, many years in New York State, a prayer was said at the beginning of every school day. And it wasn't until 1962 that the Supreme Court of the United States began to rule on how religion and schools should operate. And their ruling was there cannot be prayer in schools for the sake of prayer.
The United States is arguably the most religiously diverse country, and that changes who I am as a religious leader and how I seek to lead. It means that I can't just live in parallel with other traditions. I need to actively engage them and support them through a belief in religious pluralism.
We've kind of tried to adjust how we celebrate the holidays so as to better cater to the diversity in the community. And one of the things we've started doing that we'll do again Monday night for Christmas Eve is to have what we call a Christmas Carol Cafe. We had people from all different faiths and no faith coming and just wanting to enjoy the cultural experience of Christmas caroling.
The Supreme Court has said that religious symbols such as a Christmas tree, Santa Claus, even a menorah, or even the Knorah for Kwanzaa are symbols of the holiday season. In New York City, we have allowed the crescent and the star. Some folks would argue that they have religious overtones, but in an attempt to foster diversity and multiculturalism, at least in the New York City Department of Education, we will allow all of those symbols to be displayed.
I think that the First Amendment is necessary but insufficient, and it's necessary so that I can be who I am without fear. And it's insufficient because the ability to speak freely can also sometimes veer into the ability to say really terrible things freely.
You know, we're getting near that beautiful Christmas season that people don't talk about anymore. They don't use the word Christmas because it's not politically correct. You go to department stores and they'll say Happy New Year and they'll say other things and it'll be red, they'll have it painted, but they don't say, well, guess what? We're saying Merry Christmas again.
There is so much wasted time and energy on this so-called war on Christmas.
I also think it does a disservice to Christmas because the idea of Christmas, as I've understood it, is powerful enough that a war really would not be able to undo it.
To say Happy Holidays is to acknowledge that some people may be celebrating a festival that I'm not celebrating. But this idea that there's a war on Christmas is really, to me, just using fear to get people to react negatively to a changing society.
From local media reports, up to 12 people were shot. It happened during the 9:45 a.m. Shabbat. It is the most attended service of the entire week.
We had been in the process of revamping our security plan. And so, in an unfortunate way, one hate-filled incident meant that we were more prepared to enact security and make sure that we could keep practicing. It fills me with remorse that we have to divert time and energy and resources away from our spiritual practice, our communal practice, simply to ensure that we can do so in safety.
Diversity is not to be feared. I think what it really is people are afraid of losing power. And when you have diversity, it means you have to start sharing some of the power that maybe your group has had for a really long time. For me, being an American means that we are open to others. We are open to learn other people's ideas. We don't have to agree. We don't have to say, oh, that now we're going to do that just like they do that. No, you can continue engaging in your traditions.
The ability to think and act and talk and do interviews like this and discuss topics like this without fear of repression is a central tenet of being an American.
To be American is to adhere to an Enlightenment set of values that believe in the fundamental goodness of human beings, the potential to do well by others, and to thrive together in society.